Peter, I thought we were a team.
Listen, you darkness, I got a little favor to ask you.
Go ahead. As you know, I am obligated to grant one favor on this, the day of my daughter's wedding. While you ask me for this one and only favor, I will sit here and enjoy this very fine
warm shower.
Oh, can I have a piece?
Peter!
Welcome back to another edition of Big Blue Attitude. If y'all are wondering why I haven't been making videos lately, too long, didn't read. Life happens sometimes, so you just gotta roll with the punches, you know? But we're just gonna get right back into making the content for you guys that I enjoy making, because I haven't done it in a while. I haven't talked to you guys in a long ass time, and a lot has happened with the Giants. So I figured, since I have some free time, might as well have a little discussion. I have a few things written down right here that I want to talk about with the Giants, and it's mainly just talking about how are we going to move forward from here, because a lot of people are saying that we're messing up our draft position by winning games, and then there's people like me that see it a little differently. So let's get into it. The first thing I really want to talk about is Tommy DeVito's development in just the last 3 weeks. He went from looking like he was scared out there, he looked like he was a literal child, scared and lost in the middle of the grocery store looking for his parents, to throwing 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, in like 250 something yards, 240 something yards. The kid walks in with a confidence that I don't think we've really seen in a while, because don't get me wrong, DJ is a confident guy, he knows what he can do, but ever since the O-line started kind of, you know, crumbling and being a revolving door, it's almost impossible for a quarterback that's constantly getting hit and getting injured and constantly has people in his face to properly not only be confident in himself to be able to make the throw, but his wide receivers to make those catches. That is why as soon as we saw Tyrod come on the field, I believe, we started seeing more progression down the field, because Tyrod was also able to see things on the sideline that the person on the field, the QB on the field, isn't necessarily able to see, and he's able to make those adjustments walking onto the field. And you know, Tommy's a rookie. It's going to take a long time for this kid to really properly be comfortable in the pocket, especially with the O-line that we have. So the fact that he has the confidence that he has already is a huge boost to this offense. And I think that's why over the last 3 weeks, ever since Tommy has taken over, we've seen so much progression. The offense starts with the quarterback. If the quarterback is not confident in himself, the offense is not going to be confident in themselves. It seems like Tommy has the entire team behind him. Everybody seems like they love him. He's a New Jersey kid, still lives with his parents, which people cannot shut up about. I get it, it's smart, but like, I don't know, it's weird to think about a starting quarterback living with his parents. I get it, but like, can we just focus on the football, guys? That also moves us to a discussion of, do they stick with Tommy for the rest of the season, or do they go back to Tyrod? I have a little bit of a controversial opinion on the entire topic. I think we should maybe even do a dual quarterback thing. You know, like colleges do sometimes. Maybe if you're looking for a play that requires more improvisation and a little bit more running around, more scrambling, you use Tyrod. But if you need somebody with a little bit of a stronger arm, because Tommy does seem to have a little bit of a stronger arm than Tyrod, it's just not nearly as accurate as Tyrod's arm is. He also can't read defenses the same. So do you want to continue to develop the rookie who has shown a lot of upside, or do you want to go back to the man who could possibly injure himself again because he doesn't know how to tuck the ball and slide? It's kind of a sticky situation, because Tyrod is definitely a little bit more efficient with the football, but Tommy's developing really well. So like, what do you do there? It's a hard decision to make, and I would not want to be Brian Daboll making that decision, to be honest. The next part I want to move into is why tanking doesn't work. I don't care what anybody says, okay? Tanking does not work. You got to build a winning culture in the locker room. You got to look at a team like the Vikings, right? As long as you can consistently stay competitive and draft good players who are actually going to be NFL caliber players, I'm not necessarily talking about superstars, I'm just talking about people who can actually play in this league. And hold their own, you know? If you look at a team like the Vikings, they are consistently able to make the playoffs, right? It might not be back-to-back years, but they are consistently able to make it to the playoffs. Are they able to consistently make it deep into the playoffs? That's a different story. But we're talking about a team that last year, ironically, beat the Vikings in the wild card of the playoffs to make it to the second round and lose to the Eagles, to now us being 3-8, I believe, is our record right now. That's a huge difference. It's I don't think anybody wants to see their team go from a playoff caliber team to 3-7, 3-8. It's not maybe even fucking, I don't even know. Like even 2 or 3 more wins to where we'd at least be in playoff contention. This would be a completely different discussion, completely different conversation. But this season's hurting, man. I think all Giants fans are feeling that. Plus, when you do draft players, right, you aren't guaranteed for them to be successful in this league. You got to look at players like Evan Neal, a player that the Giants drafted very high and is not playing to the best of his ability. He's seeming like a wash at this point, man. He's starting to slowly get better. But we drafted you with the first round pick, man. You've got to be an immediate starter at that point. And when you are absolute trash, I think it's time to move on at that point. I mean, I know Andrew Thomas, it took him a little while to kind of get acclimated, but he's had serious injury problems the entire time he's been on this team. I understand Evan Neal has had a few injury problems too, but he is not even close to playing at the same level. So if you look at people talking about us drafting a new quarterback, everybody's talking about Caleb Williams. Another controversial opinion, I think we should go for Drake May, man. Yeah, I understand Caleb Williams has a little bit better arm talent, like Patrick Mahomes' arm talent, but I don't know, man. There's something about Drake May that when I watch him, he looks so much more confident. He knows he's going to make that throw every single time, and Caleb is just, I don't know. There's a few things about him that is just, plus he scrambles a little bit too much. I don't like the fact that Patrick Mahomes runs around as much as he does. That's gonna give me a goddamn heart attack. I don't want to see my QB get injured because they're running around too much, you know? I'm already used to seeing DJ run for his life. Then again, with an offensive line like the one that we have, it wouldn't hurt to have somebody with that kind of scrambling ability. Again, it's you gotta make your choices, man. What do you go for, you know? I don't envy being an owner of an NFL team. I'll say that right now. Next, we're going to talk about injuries, even though we kind of already went over it a little bit, but that's going to take us into the turf and the worst stadium conversation that everybody's having right now. Of course, everybody thinks that MetLife Stadium is the worst stadium because that's the place that everywhere goes other than just the NFL team, right? It's a multiple use stadium. It's one of the biggest stadiums in the world. So of course it's going to be used for a lot of commercial things like that. Why do you think the Giants, no matter what, are always doing well with their merchandise and their and the money coming in? Because they're in the New York market and they have one of the largest stadiums ever. And if you are going to put a stadium in New York City, where are you going to put it? Right? Are you going to put it in Times Square? How? You know what I mean? There's nowhere to put a stadium in New York City, so New Jersey, it makes sense, you know what I mean? Not only that, but do you really want all the smells and all that smog of New York City around the football stadium? Do you really want that? Because I know New Jersey don't smell too great, but imagine playing in New York City, man, with the air quality there. Nah, that's not good for the players, man. Do we want to give players fucking cancer? Nah. But yeah, I understand why a lot of the players and a lot of people say that we have the worst stadium. It's a dual-use stadium. Nobody likes dual-use stadiums unless it's SoFi because that's just so brand new. People liked MetLife a little bit when it first came around, and then it kind of slowly went to shit. SoFi is a lot more high-tech and stuff, so I think that's going to outlive MetLife a little bit more in terms of people actually possibly enjoying playing there and everything. But eventually people will get tired of it. I guarantee you, just like the Giants and Jet Stadium. And our last point, something that Kyle Pizzle was just talking about the other day, is showing up for the Giants when it matters most. And I am incredibly guilty of not showing up for the Giants when it matters most because they've been losing most of the season and I have not been making videos. And I feel incredibly bad about that because no matter what, I'm going to be a Giants fan for the rest of my life. I love Big Blue, I love my G-Men, and I want them to know that there is fans out there that is fighting for them every step of the way. Like, I don't care about the draft, man. I just want to see my Giants be competitive. I want to see them win on Sunday. I want to see them ruin their draft pick even more week in, week out. I don't winning matters, man. It does. I know people say, oh, well, then you're going to get a worse draft pick the following year. What if you aren't able to re-sign people? Then that's what happens, man. At least we were able to have fun for the season, while they were winning. You know what I mean? I like to live in the present. You know what I mean? I want to see my Giants do well, man. I want to see my Giants play. You know, that's how I am, man. I'm going to be a Giants fan for the rest of my life, so it doesn't matter if they get an amazing draft pick next year, the year after that, the year after that, the year after that. They could go 0-17. I will still always be a Giants fan. I will still always be here for them because I love them. We were going to the story about how I became a Giants fan in a different video one day if you guys would like to hear the story. But as for right now, I'm gonna call out the episode because I feel like I've talked enough. I've covered everything on this little note right here. And yeah, man, I'm just excited to see the Patriots game. Because who knows who the Patriots are going to be starting at quarterback? Is it going to be Mac Jones? And if it is, we're probably winning that game. I mean, I'm just saying, our defense has been pretty hot. They have their moments where they're kind of cold, but it's the Patriots, man. We're going to come in hot. So I'm excited for this game on Sunday. I have to work for it, so that sucks. I'm not going to be able to catch the whole thing, but it is what it is. All right, hopefully I'll get a 5 keys to a Giants victory video out before Sunday. But Thanksgiving is this week, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to have the time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead, leave a like. Comment down below your thoughts on what I talked about today. Let me know what you think the Giants should do from here on out. Do you think they should tank? Do you think they should continue to try and be competitive? What do you think about the whole worst stadium conversation? Do you agree with me with what I say on, I understand why it is the way it is. So, I'm not really mad at it. Let me know if you think they should do a dual QB situation, if they should stick with Tommy, if they should stick with Tyrod. Like always, I hope you guys have a great night. Stay safe, and go Big Blue, go G-Men. Believe in the blue. Have a good day.